All right, same. We live now, bro.
Kind. Yeah, we're definitely on.
We on?
Yeah. You want to open up, or you want me to do it?
Nah, you got it. You same. We live now, bro. Yeah, we on, bro.
All right, kind. All right. First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh,
All right.
Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash, a double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Hey, this lesson is going to be entitled Men Are Set Up to Lead the Flock. Okay? Now, a lot of reprobates will tell you that, of course, Yahweh Shai just came to them automatically and supped with them. Like literally, he opened up the scriptures and taught them precepts upon precepts. But if you are a true man of the Lord, you will understand that you're going to have spiritual fathers in this thing. It's no different from a trade. You would try to receive a certification from Esau. If you're trying to become a barber, all right, you're gonna have a teacher. If you're trying to be a truck driver, you're gonna have to have a teacher, so on and so on. You want to add, bro?
Nah, you're exactly right. You know, and the scriptures going there actually in Romans the 10th chapter. What you're saying? I'll just find that. Actually, I'll get it for you right now. This is
Okay.
Romans 10:14. How then shall they call upon him in whom they have not believed? And how should they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?
Right. So this is how most of us heard the word through a preacher. A preacher is the same thing as a prophet. A prophet means to is a person that says something before it happens, and a preacher is a person that declares something before it happens. But the point is, we understood the word through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah by a preacher or a teacher or a shepherd. Okay.
That's right. That's right. There's no way that you can get the proper understanding of these scriptures unless somebody broke them down to you, man. You see,
Mm-hmm.
there's some things that are mysteries that were revealed to chiefly to our apostles and given to us on down, man. And the only way
That's
you're
right.
gonna understand this scripture unless somebody break it down to you, man. You know, somebody tells you to go on these words and things of that nature. You know, I have another
That's right,
question
bro.
for you, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Now this is Acts 8:31, and he said, uh, "How can I, except some man should guide me?" And he desired Philip that he should come up and sit with him. And this is the eunuch that
That's
was
right.
speaking to Philip because he's reading the book of Isaiah or Isaiah, and he didn't understand it. And Philip
Mm-hmm.
asked, "You understand? You know what you're reading?" And he's like, "How am I supposed to understand this unless somebody break it down to me?" You see, that's the same situation now. You're not gonna understand these scriptures unless somebody breaks them down to you, man.
Okay.
You
That's
know,
right, bro. All right, say, brother, get John 10 and 1.
God. Now this is uh this is John 10:1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
And that's the point. Okay, you have to enter the door. Okay, when you come into this truth, and of course, if you continue to read the scriptures within that chapter, it tells you that the door is Yahweh Shai. He is the entryway. He is the entryway to his father Yahweh. Okay, and that's why he's called the bread of life. All right, because when you go into that term bread, basically it's a form of nourishment of the spirit. All right, so you have to go through that door in order to have access to Yahweh. You have to go through that door in order to receive spiritual nourishment. All right. Now, when you look up that term thief in the Greek, and it's Strong's G 28 and 12, and it's pronounced as it's coming up now, bro.
Mhm.
Strong's G 2812
Kleptase. Kleptase. That's where you get that term kleptomania. It's a thief, a person that steals. All right, but this is the point. Definition. The name is transferred to false teachers who do not care to instruct men, but abuse their confidence for their own gain. And the reason why these false teachers are labeled as thieves and so on and so forth, because they never entered the truth the right way, going through that door. Okay? You want to
Right.
add something, bro?
No, you're exactly right. He talks about that in First and Second Peter's, we don't have to get, but it's saying how these false prophets try to make merchandise, loosely paraphrasing. People, they try to get money off of the flock, man. And that's what you see in these various various camps. T-shirts of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Charging people arm and leg for the Passover. But they're doing that because they trying to get money.
That's right. That's right. Verse 2, but he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Okay, now that goes to show you that the Most High will utilize holy men to give instructions, okay, to teach his word, the true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Al Shah. He's going to have men set up to spearhead this thing. Now, we understand that Yahweh Shah is here through the spirit, but from a flesh component, he's not here. And that's why you're going to have ambassadors of Yahweh Bashem El Shah.
That's right.
You got something, brother?
I'll just go on this Galatians 2.
Okay.
Will we grab that for you, bro?
Yeah, bro. Get Galatians 2 and 9.
This is Galatians 2 and 9. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given unto me, they gave to me and Barnabas the right hands of fellowship, that we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision.
Right, and that's the point. Hey, and who was the heads again, bro? Under Peter?
Under James, Cephas, and John.
Okay, now when you go into that term, pillars in the Greek, it's Strong's G 4769, pronounced as
Strong's G 4769.
Stulos, okay? So when we get to the point, and it's in a lexicon, and it states, used of persons to whose eminence, meaning superiority and strength, the stability and authority of any institution or organization are due, meaning that the Most High is going to have men. Okay, so you're going to have men set up in the spirit to lead other men, all right, because it's a spiritual hierarchy, all right? You're going to have Yahweh Shah, okay, you're going to have King David and the 12 and 144,000. But at the same time frame, spiritual men, which are holy men, are going to be able to lead other men through the correct doctrine by the spirit of Yahweh Shem Al Shah.
That's right. I got something for you out.
Go ahead, bro.
Now this is 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Be ye followers of me, even as also I am of Mashiach. And that word followers, if you were to look it up, I have this study Bible, and it states imitators. So you know what I'm saying? So as Paul speaking, as you are following Paul, you're supposed to imitate what he does in the truth. We're supposed to do the same thing with the apostles. The apostles tell us to do 3 sit downs, at least 3 sit downs a week, and they esteem to do more. They tell us to be out there on the highways and byways, and they've been out there on the highways byways for 30, 20 plus years. You see what I'm saying? So we're supposed to be imitators of that, man.
Yeah. And you know what, bro? I forgot who it was, but it was an Edomite, and he was like into like psychology, so on and so forth. But he had like the child stages of development, and one of those stages was imitation. Okay, now
Yep.
that was beautiful how you stated within the spirit, because once we are born again, then we have to become babes. All right, and then we imitate our spiritual fathers, to basically be perfect within the spirit by the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, so we understand, like, from a fleshly standpoint, we're not perfect, but we're perfect in understanding. Okay, however, but that imitation goes back to us having teachers and pastors and shepherds and so on and so forth.
That's right. That's right, bro. I'm grabbing it in Kings.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, this is Kings 19 verse 15. And Yahweh said unto him, Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to
Mm-hmm.
be king over Syria.
Mm-hmm.
And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shall thou anoint to be king over Israel, and Elisha, the son of Shaphat of Abel of Mahalah, shall thou anoint to be prophet in thy room.
Right. So, in a nutshell, Elijah had to groom Elisha within the spirit. Now, we go to Elisha in the blue letter, it's Strong's H 477, and it's pronounced as Allah, Allah Yah Shai, Allah Yah Shai. Okay. And when you just get to the meat of it, it states a great prophet who succeeded Elijah, meaning that basically he came after him, of course. And then when you go to the lexicon, it has Elijah the prophet, the disciple. And that's the point. Elijah groomed Elisha. So if Elisha was Elijah's disciple, that means he was a student of Elijah. Okay, therefore he had to be groomed in the spirit. Now you have to understand that the Most High changes not. Okay, now true enough, he's going to give certain men more spiritual gifts, but at the same time frame, it's the same process. Men will groom other men, and that was the point.
God, bro, already. See, to the next one. To the next one.
Yeah, Matthew 10:7.
Matthew 10 and 7. Okay, I'm already here.
Okay.
Matthew 10 and 7. And and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
That's right, and that's the point. Yahweh Shah gave these instructions to the disciples. All right, now they were students, which means disciples, and then later on they became apostles, which means sent forth to do work, to do what? To preach the word. Okay, to be about their father's business, such as Yahweh Shah. But the point is, you had holy men instructing other men, and it trickled down to what you see now. And to prove that, this is Isaiah 34:17. And he hath cast a lot of them, and his hand have divided it unto them. Look at same, bro. Computer tripping.
Okay, bro, I can grab it.
Yeah, get Isaiah
Yeah, I grab
34:17.
it. Yeah. Now, this is Isaiah uh 34 and 16,
17.
17. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by lines, like
Mm-hmm.
they shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein.
Right, and that's the point. Okay, so we all come back to the process of reincarnation, and everybody is signed or assigned to that spiritual lot. That's why Luke had his portion. Okay, Jeremiah had his portion. Matthew had his portion, so on and so forth. But the thing is, that these holy men, which going back to Matthew 10 and 7, were instructed to preach the word, and it's no different today. So these men will be doing the same thing, and then it's going to trickle down and manifest to what you see now. All right, and mainly everybody learned this truth either by passing by a camp, watching a video, so on and so forth. They had to been instructed. They had to been taught. Okay.
That's right. That's right, bro. Colossians 1:20. I get that for you.
Yeah, 1:25.
Colossians 1:25.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is Colossians 1:25. Wherefore I am made a minister according to the dispensation of the Most High, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of the Most High.
Right, right. And
That's it.
so the term dispensation, that means like it's going into like an overseer, a manager, so on and so forth. So we're gonna have managers and overseers within the spirit, you know, and then that's gonna manifest to your camp leaders. You're gonna have captains and co-captains and priests and officers and on down. It's just the setup, and nothing is different. Okay, if you work for Esau, he has a chain of command, and it's the same thing from Yahweh Shem Al Shah. All right, but you know what? You kids are so willful. You know, once you start learning things and so on and so forth, you forget. You forget basically where you learn this truth from, and then you become seduced by these seducing spirits. Okay, now I know more than the apostles. Okay, they broke this down wrong. They broke that down wrong. Okay, but before you receive that breakdown, why didn't you come out with a video prior to that?
Yeah, quicker for y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have rule over you,
Mm-hmm.
submit yourselves.
What it
For
says?
obey them that have the rule over you
Mm-hmm.
and submit yourselves.
Right, right, right. And if you submit yourself to something, it means you have to be under their rule, man. Okay? Then Yahweh Shah will start supping with you, man. But this truth, it has to try you first. Okay, it has to try your integrity. But the point of the lesson is that you're gonna have leaders, okay? And then you're gonna have to be taught. And then once you come up on a spiritual level, then you go out there, you know, and I mean, you may, you know, receive a position within your camp, but at the same time frame, we have to edify each other, and that's by the leadership of men on earth.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's finish this out for you. For they watch for your souls as they must give account that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for this is unprofitable for you.
Right. So it's a blessing to be in this truth. And at the same time frame, we supposed to watch out for other brothers' souls, man. You know, because at the end of the day, if you don't, their blood is on your hand. And then the Most High is justified for destroying your black ass, okay, for not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then
That's
at the
right.
same time frame, younger brothers, when you come into those camps, you're supposed to listen as well, man. Okay, you don't supposed to be willful. Okay, this is how I used to do it. No, when you're born again, everything is fresh. Everything is brand new. So you have to let go of that old man and become that new creature. All right. And part of coming into the culture of Yahweh Shem Al Shai is being led by men.
That's right. That's right. Because, when you getting in this thing, man, the apostles, they're telling, us things, for our benefit, not to our detriment. A lot of times it could come off as very extreme,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't take, for granted, their labor of love. They're telling us certain things because they have that experience. So you can't negate a man's experience and his truth for excellent that that's been in for 30 years, man. 20
Mm-hmm.
years, 15 years, man. Grown man right there. A
God.
man that's washed, and been refined by the Lord for 30 years, man. That's nothing to play with.
Right.
You come in with your little experience that that doesn't mean anything. You got an X amount of experience in the world that doesn't mean anything. It's a whole nother different ball game, a different culture, a way of doing things, and it's true for us, man.
That's right. That's right, bro. Hey, I got one more precept, bro.
Kind of.
And that's that First Timothy 1 Timothy 1, 1 through 2.
1 to 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm right here. Now this is 1 Timothy 1:1. Paul, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, by the commandment of the Most High, our Savior, the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which is our hope, unto
Mm-hmm.
Timothy, my own son, my son, in the faith, grace, mercy, and peace from God our Father and Yahushua Mashiach our Lord.
And that goes to show you that if Timothy was the spiritual son of Paul, then therefore we're going to have spiritual fathers as well. Now, when you go into that term son in the Greek, it's Strong's G 5043, pronounced as teknon. Teknon. All right. And the point is in B definition 3, it states in the New Testament, pupils or disciples are called children of their teachers because the latter, by their instruction, nourish the minds of their pupils and mold their characters. Okay? Going back into that scripture you brought out, bro, how we supposed to be about the imitation, be followers of Yahushua, such as Paul. Okay, it only makes sense. The latter, by their instruction, nourish the minds of their pupils, which are students, younger brothers, and mold their characters, going into their spiritual characters. Okay, because what the Holy Spirit is utilizing these men to do is to have you perfect and complete in understanding. And of course, you keep the law, statutes, and the commandments to the best of your abilities.
Right.
Anything you want to add, bro?
Nah, brother, you're getting down, not shoot.
All right, well, that's it, brother.
All right, brother. I can dig it.
Come, bro. Hey, Lord willing, y'all edified. All praises to Yahweh,
By
Bashem,
Shem,
Yahweh
yeah,
Shah, Bashem,
Shem,
Rakah, Kodash. A double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.